Alright, so in less than 48 hours, the Falconets of Nigeria will battle for a spot in the quarterfinals of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. Business end of the tournament, you only get two options at this point. Not three, not four, but two options. Either win your game or go home. No excuses whatsoever. So with all on the line, Nigeria will take on Japan in what promises to be an exciting round of 16 matchup. A lot of people have been talking this and that about the Falconets in this game, already giving away the W without consulting the Falconets about it. Not even saying, hey Falconets, you want this W? You willing to play for it? They're just giving it away to Japan. But last time I checked, football is a 11-on-11 game played on grass, not paper. So I feel with the right 11 players on the pitch, the right tactics coming in from the coaching staff on the bench, right players of course coming in as subs, managing the game, things like that, we stand a chance going into this game. We really stand a chance. We have the quality, and we can get the job done with everything falling in place. Now, before we go on any further about the match, of course this is a match preview video. Please make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you very much. So yeah, Falconets of Nigeria will be taking on Young Nadeshiko of Japan in the round of 16 of the Under-20 Women's World Cup. The game will be played on Thursday, the 12th of September. That's if you're in Colombia. If you're in Nigeria, it will be played on Friday, the 13th of September. 8 p.m. Colombian time will be the start of the match, so it will start 8 p.m. over there in Colombia, while in Nigeria it's going to start 2 a.m. in the morning. Now, when it comes to the match venue, the game will be hosted at the Estadio Metropolitano de Techo in Bogota, Colombia, same venue that hosted the Falconets' first two matches in the competition, the game against Korea Republic and the one against Germany. Now, when it comes to watching the match, you get it on the FIFA website. You type in plus.fifa.com and it takes you straight to this page right here. You don't need too much scrolling. You can see it, just a little drop right here, live schedule, and the matches are right here. You just click on the match you want. As you can see right here, you can click on the Nigeria-Japan match, even right now that the game isn't going on. But you click on the match you want, and it's right here. It says watch here, watch free. Can't read right now. It says watch free. You click on it and it takes you straight to the match. That's how you do it. Voila. Now, that being said, when it comes to the tail of the tape for both teams, Japan come into this stage of the competition undefeated. They won all three matches in their group, defeating New Zealand, Ghana, and Austria. Their first match against New Zealand, they won that by 7-0. Then in their second match, they defeat Ghana by 4-1. Then their third and final match, which happened to be a top of the table clash in the group, they played Austria and won that game by 2-0. Now, on the other hand, the Falconets made it to this point with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss. They won their first match of the competition, and that was against Korea Republic. Final score 1-0. Second match of the competition was against Germany, their first and only L. They lost that by 3-1. Then their third and final match was a big 4-0 win over Venezuela. Now, when it comes to the Falconets, first of all, we got to keep it real and basically admit that the first 2 games were wasted. We didn't have the right personnel out there, and you got to think about it. If we had the right 11 players playing in those first 2 games, they would have been building something. Instead of finally, you got to give the coach credit for making a change, but it was a little bit late. So it is kind of putting us in a bad situation right now. But at the same time, we do have quality on the team. Yes, there is a hole or two in the team, in the squad, but there is quality. We have 6 players who have been part of the Super Falcons setup, who have had caps for the Super Falcons. So it's not like you got a whole bunch of scrubs here. So for me, it all comes down to the starting lineup. You saw in the game against Venezuela, we made some changes And the players that came in look like the players that should have been in from the beginning. You start and go with Faye Omilana, had a great game against Venezuela. Definitely proved that, yes, she should have been the starting goalkeeper for those first two matches. You also got Olushola Shobowale, who started the game, her first action in the competition, had a good performance even though she didn't score or assist on the day. Caused issues for the Venezuelans. So not saying that all these players must start against Japan, but I feel like this is a lineup we could definitely build on as we move forward in this competition. Now, speaking of the competition, one thing I learned at the ending of the Venezuela match was that the coaches have two challenges that they can use during the game. So if you see something that you feel like maybe there's a penalty in the box that the referee didn't look at, you can actually throw a challenge and they go check it out. And if it's a penalty, you get it. So I don't know if our coaches know about it. I'm pretty sure they know about it because the tournament rules are told to them before the competition starts. But we definitely need to keep that in mind going forward, because there was that handball looking thing against Germany. The ball hit the player in the elbow and the elbow was stretched out a little bit. That could have been something that the referee could have looked at. But speaking of finding out things, I found out that the Japanese head coach makes changes in the first half sometimes. He has done it twice so far in this competition. Did it against New Zealand in their first match. Just made a change. No injury or anything wrong with the player. Could be tactical, could be just to mess with the heads of the opponents. Then he did it in the second game against Ghana. Same situation, nothing wrong with the player. The player had actually scored in the previous match, but he took her out around the 20-something minute mark. So that might be something to look out for in this game right here. Of course, Japan, a real quality side. It kind of looks like they play a little tiki-taka type of football, but the difference is they're trying to score goals. They're not just trying to pass the ball around. They're trying to get in your box and cause mayhem. And that's why I feel like the key word going into this game is focus. We got to be focused from start to finish of this match, because if you fall asleep, if you just close your eyes for a little second, the moment you take your eyes off them, things can really get bad for you. Now, I do feel like we got a couple of big issues defensively. Marking, it seems like we're zonal marking on open play, and it's not been working out. You go back to the game against Germany, players have been getting free headers because basically we're marking space. So if I'm on a player and the player just goes to the right a little bit, that's not my zone, so I leave it alone. And the player on that side doesn't know that I'm leaving it alone. That means that that player is going to get a free shot at goal. It happened against Venezuela. It happened against Germany. And if we don't fix that, it's going to easily happen against Japan, because they have more quality than those sides. And another thing is that we don't track runners coming into the box. There's a player running into the box and the midfielder just leaves that player to go into the box. I guess that's part of the zonal marking thing, but it just doesn't work. You already have 4 players in the box on 4 players. Then you have another one bombing in. Why can't the midfielder just trail that player all the way? That's what needs to happen, but that's not what has been happening with the Falconets. It's like they're letting the player run in and they're just looking there. And that's not going to work in a competition like this. It's not just about the 4 players at the back. The midfielders have to put in work. The wingers have to put in work. And the attacker definitely has to cause issues up top, pressing and whatnot. Now, going into the game, I feel like the one thing the Falconets can't do is sit back. They can't just sit back and expect to soak in pressure for 90 minutes. They actually have to go on the attack. They have to really press this team. Give them a taste of their own medicine. Teams that like doing stuff don't like when that stuff is done against them. So I feel like if we can keep things tight at the back and minimize the amount of mistakes we make in possession, we have a chance going into this game right here. But that being said, let me know your thoughts on this game right here. Falconets of Nigeria taking on young Naija of Japan. Game will be played on Thursday the 12th of September for those in Colombia, while for those in Nigeria, Friday the 13th of September, 2 a.m. Nigerian time. Estadio Metropolitano de Techo venue for the match. Let me know your thoughts on the game, predictions, all that stuff. And please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.